If you haven't watched the previous episodes, please do so before watching this one. Links are in the description. Before we begin, please remember that this story isn't intended to offend anyone, as it's only fictional, like always. Now please enjoy the final episode of Kegatuan. We've come this far, so this is the finale. RedGalaxy and I are loading our weapons behind a demolished fence. My fingers clumsily work while I shove the ammo into my gun. We need to make our finite supply count to defeat the Kegatoon. As RedGalaxy is loading his gun, a large force of pain suddenly strikes my head like a knife without warning. It nearly blinds me and throws me off balance. "Ray, are you alright?" he shouts out as I collapse onto the ground, moving quickly to my side. I grunt, the plane flaring in my head like a wildfire. Oh my gosh. I feel RedGalaxy throw his hands around my head. What does it feel like? It feels like my brain was set on fire, I shout back, almost struggling to speak. After a moment, RedGalaxy tells me, "You must be under a load of stress." "What?" I ask, confusion temporarily extinguishing the pain. "Don't try to hide it, Ray," he resumes. "You're stressed about those lethal menaces, I can tell. You're also afraid that you won't see your family again, that you won't be able to protect Risya and Micha. All that leads to why you're in pain." What can I say, Risya? I am afraid of all that. I'm doing my best to stand tall, but my fear is eating me up inside. I hold back the tears threatening to release. RedGalaxy dashes for a bag lying beside our bikes. He returns with a fresh plastic bottle of water and hands it to me. I rapidly unscrew the cap and begin to gulp down the water. The cool liquid refreshes my throat and begins to ease the pain in my head like a fire extinguisher, settling the dust to my mind. "You okay now?" RedGalaxy asks. I stand again. "I'm alright now. Thanks so much, man. We're in this together, Ray. I would never hesitate to help you, Risya, or Micha out, and when we eventually reach our objective, I already know how we'll rebuild our lives." I nod with a smile, letting his hopeful words bless my heart. Then I climb the fence in front of me and stand on it. I look ahead at the scene, expecting to catch a view of Risya and Micha making their move. When I see what's actually happening, the bliss disappears, and my blood runs cold. Two of the Kegatoon members are dragging Risya and Micha on the ground toward the hideout. The two aren't moving a muscle as they are moved across the gravel road, and their lifeless faces haunt me when I see them. RedGalaxy hops on the side of the fence beside me and takes a look at what I'm seeing. From my peripheral view, I see his jaw drop. "Oh no," I whisper, the loudest volume I can manage. "We've failed them." "They aren't dead," RedGalaxy confidently says after a couple of seconds. "What do you mean by that?" "Just look at them. Why are the Kegatoon dragging their bodies?" "There isn't any blood on their clothes," RedGalaxy explains. "Their bodies would have also been left there if they were actually killed." "What do you think is going on then?" I ask. "Don't know, but they definitely aren't going to kill them yet." He turns his eyes to me and holds his gun up. "We have to seize this opportunity before things get worse, but now we just have to lie low." I nod at what he says. We let a minute pass. I keep staring at the ground I'm sitting on while taming my heart. I trust that we can save Risya and Micha, but I'm still worried as to what will happen to them. We've already seen just how merciless the Kegatoon are, so I don't want them to think about what they'll do to them, even if RedGalaxy says they won't be killed. If I end up reaching my family at the cost of those two, I would live in pain for the rest of my life. RedGalaxy taps my shoulder and cocks his gun in front of me. I know what we must do based on his gesture. We stand and sprint along the long fence toward the end of the street. I keep surveying the place, ensuring that no Kegatoon members are present as we speed forward like horses. When the Kegatoon members come into our sight outside the hideout, I pull my firearm up and fire precisely, each shot hitting the members easily. Meanwhile, RedGalaxy shoots the cameras lined up on the roof, each bursting into a flash of sparks. Two other members dash up to me from my left. I notice them through my peripheral view. When they get close enough, I turn and fire without hesitation, hitting one of them. The other tries to throw his fist into my face, but I block it with my free, brawny arm and follow it up with two pistol whips in the face. My wrath is running free right now, but I don't care. They destroyed my friends' town, so it's only right I rain destruction on them too. RedGalaxy catches up to me and then zooms forward. "Great work, Ray," he comments. "I learned some things in the police force," I respond, following him as we zip down the side of the house and into the yard. "Why are we going down here?" I ask. Risya and Micha are probably captive in the basement, he answers. Oldest trick in the book, bud. We reach the fence to force it open, prepared to reach the basement. If RedGalaxy is right, then we can save our comrades and defeat the Kegatuan too. In the yard, several Kegatuan members are gathered around a fire, chatting amongst themselves. They all look like clones of one another. They are all rocking the same suits and masks. They don't notice us until 3 seconds later, when RedGalaxy and I freeze on the spot. A chorus of yells hits my ears as the men begin to grab their guns and knives, though I've never seen anyone use the latter. We step toward them as we pull up our firearms, preparing to brawl these miserable menaces as they charge forward at us. The splash of cold water on my face jolts me awake. My heart almost stops at how unprepared I was. I'm forced to open my eyes despite how exhausted I am. I must be sedated because thick fog crowds my mind, and my limbs refuse to move despite my urging them to. It takes me a while to make out my surroundings, but when I eventually do, I'm petrified. I'm in a large square room with a single fluorescent light on the ceiling. My wrists and ankles are tied together with tight black zip ties. The freezing water that awakened me drips off my chin and wets my shirt. Kegatuan members are abundant in the room, all with their eyes on me. It's like a mirage in the desert seeing all of them right here, right now. The last thing I remember is how Micha and I were knocked out on the streets. That must be why I'm in this position right now. Micha. She must be here right now, is she? That's when I feel another pair of hands in my zip tie. I infer that they are Micha's since she was beside me when struck unconscious. Oh God, I muttered to myself. It may be quiet, but the fear and panic are evident in my voice. Oh gosh indeed, a deep voice repeats. It's coming from somewhere in the room. No, outside this room. Suddenly, the door swings open and slams against the wall. Another Kegatuan member steps in, and his eyes immediately dart to mine. He looks a little taller than the rest, and all the others have their eyes locked on him. Those factors draw a single conclusion. I'm looking right at the boss of the Kegatuan, just 8 or 9 feet apart from me. I could just stand and fight him while the adrenaline building up inside me. But I'm still pulled down by my vines, and I'm sedated. Even if I could get up, all the other men in the room would come at me. You know, Risya and Micha, the boss says, you astonish me. Everyone we've seen in the city has lost their lives on our hands, but you've never backed down, nor have you ever lost. Not this time, though. His tone is smug, like he believes he has truly won. I stay silent, but Micha, brave Micha, speaks up. How do you justify the wreckage you've rained on us all? I hit Micha's finger through the zip ties, trying to remind her not to open her mouth. I expect guns to be pulled on us, but the leader just scoffs. How do you justify killing 20-something of my men, Micha? Micha's got the memo because neither of us answer. I just watch as the boss stares at our silent figures. Through his mask, I can feel him reach his boiling point inside. I brace myself for what he does next. Not answering doesn't make you look any stronger. As expected, his voice is a little louder. Answer me right now. Why would you fill my henchmen with bullets? I don't know, I respond, keeping my cool. Maybe it's because you issued them to kill us? My response cools the boss after his brief fit. Maybe I should tell you why we've destroyed the city, and why nobody is coming to help you. You know, how would you like it if you woke up every day knowing that not a single soul would care for your existence? His question is compelling. I don't know what it's like to not have anyone care about me, but it must be horrible. I force myself to continue listening. How would you like it if no matter who you pass by or who you talk to, negativity and dread would always respond to you? He pauses for a second, seemingly wanting me to reply. When I don't, he resumes as if nothing happened. Well, we've been through that so many times that we lost count. He bangs his fist on the wall as if drunk in anger. I'd tell you all of our stories, but that would take all day and night, so I'll just tell you mine. The boss finally crouches to face me. It's the only thing he's done in this moment that doesn't make him appear smug. You know, you have a profession that anybody would envy, being a music maker and DJ. You want us to have a massive income from it. Too bad I never had a job that made even a third of what you make. What does that have to do with my brother being a DJ? Micha aggressively asks. Well, you know, I applied for maybe even hundreds of good jobs across the city. I thought I had an excellent resume. as I studied harder than I could take and climbed to the top, or so I thought, because in reality, I never got accepted to any of them, even though nothing on my resume was wrong. I ended up having to work for minimum wage. I don't even know why the higher-ups didn't accept me. Maybe I didn't look the part, or for some forsaken reason. How would you feel if, even if you gave it everything you got, you never reach your desired level? That's impossible though, isn't it? I answer. Of course not, another of the men replies. I share a similar story too. It can't be a coincidence, can it? Shush! The leader puts a finger out to his minion, and then he turns back to me. Whenever I came home to my horrid and disgusting apartment, it wasn't any better. The neighbors would treat me like an outcast. They'd sometimes write hurtful notes on my door, and some would even knock just to throw their garbage into my home. I mean it. His words shocked me. My heart skips a few beats as well. I always knew there were some not good people in town, but never this bad. I'm surprised the leader is even here right now, talking to me. It's like I'm speaking with a ghost. Suddenly, the boss puts his hand up to his mask and removes it. It's the first time I've seen anyone from the Kegatuan do something like that. I'm shocked by what I see next. The leader's face is young and stained by several scars. Many of them appear aged, as if he had had them for months. His eyes look bloodshot, his lips are cracked, and his cheeks are painted with marks. This is what they did to me, he yells, his voice burning like a giant flame. Let them walk away and continue to mistreat me or several others? Maybe not, because everyone in this town was the same ruthless idiot. I stay silent, not because of how menacing the boss is, but his story of people treating him poorly every day has scrambled my brain. I sure would want revenge if anybody drowned me in misery every day, but before I can finish my thought, the boss continues speaking, placing his mask on his face again. Before I knew it, I met several other people who went through the same thing. We each had fury boiling inside us, ready to burst any minute. And burst we did. We gathered one day and decided enough was enough. It was time to enact the revenge for the mistreatment we had endured. With the little money some of us had, we split to purchase these suits, masks, our guns, explosives, everything. Some of us even stole those items if required. We did everything we could and put our plan into action. We went on a spree of killing everybody in this city and lighting all the buildings on fire, commencing our mission by putting bullets in the neighbors who bullied me all the time. You gotta say though, it seems like we're the only ones here now. Don't you love that? The leader giggles for a moment, even though the joke is filled with depravity rather than risibility. Have you ever considered that some of us are better people than that? Micha powerfully retorts. I don't remember the last time I ever threw trash into someone's place or said a mean remark to them. Neither does Risya, because we aren't mean people like you say others are. Shut up, Micha, the leader shouts. You all are just the same. You can't hide the truth. The leader gestures to 2 or 4 guards in the room. Take them into the closet, and remember, no food or water for 2 days. He then creepily turns his head to gaze down at us. It'd be fun to see them suffer. They're going to torture us? At this point, I think getting shot would be the better option. Not so fast! I hear a voice exclaim outside the room. It's so familiar that I recognize it instantly. Ray. The door suddenly bursts open and breaks off its hinges, thudding once it hits the ground. As I expected, Ray is there, a gun sitting in his hands. RedGalaxy appears behind him, and he wastes no time coming up to the leader and taking him by surprise. He pistol whips the boss in the face so hard that his grunt sounds brutal to hear. The next second, he's out cold on the smooth, flat floor. Ray nods at RedGalaxy and then holds his gun, a larger one at that, perhaps a minigun, at all the Kegatuan members in the room. Get your bloody hands off those 2, he screams. The scream is so deafening that I wish my hands were free so I could shield my ears. Nearly every hand in the room is raised. No one tries to point a gun at them. I guess they might not have them in the moment. RedGalaxy seizes the opportunity and steps toward us, and then cuts off the zip ties on our limbs with a knife caked in dried blood. I got this from one of those members, he whispers to me. One of the members grabs RedGalaxy as he tries to get up. But then he kicks one of the knees and throws a brutal punch into his mask. He soars backward, hitting another member in the process, and falls to the floor unconscious. I seize the opportunity and roll toward the door, swiftly getting back on my feet and out of the dreadful room. Micha and I almost leave, but another tall member steps into my path. Get back in there, he yells, holding a pistol at both of us. Micha doesn't surrender. She lands a punch in the man's mask, to which he stumbles backward a bit with his head in his hand. I follow her attack with a kick of my own, sending the guy off his feet toward the far end of the basement, which has an awful stench, perhaps the smell of blood mixed with sewage. Before I can bolt up the stairs, I suddenly hear a chorus of gunfire coming from the room we were just in. I turn to see Ray viciously shooting multiple Kegatuan members. They all plummet to the floor when hit. The remaining members rush toward Ray, seemingly trying their luck at punching or kicking him. What Ray does next makes my heart skip a beat. When they are all lined up, Ray swings the head of his minigun across all of their faces. All the members fall to the floor, not moving a muscle, even when Ray kicks them in his stomachs for good measure. Nice one, RedGalaxy comments as they bolt out of the room and join us on the stairs. This is it. Freedom is so close that I can almost taste it. All of us will. My euphoria crumbles to dust when I hear two more gunshots. Both penetrate the floor and shock us. I turn around to see the Kegatuan boss without his mask, revealing his vicious eyes, looking at us, with his firearm raised in our direction. My fingers curl into a fist. He just won't give up, will he? There is a reason I'm the Kegatuan boss, losers, he slyly tells us. Now here's how this is going to work. You are going to put your hands up and carefully step down the stairs and into the room again, where I will what? Two gunshots suddenly soar and hit the boss in the head and neck. His neck recoils as his head hits the ground with a satisfying thud. It's almost horrid to cast a glance at his body. That's what you call a taste of your own medicine, Micha says. I turn to her and see as she has her own gun pulled out. She had fired the shots to save us. Thanks so much, sis, I say. We gotta get out of here. We did what we came here for, Micha exclaims. We snap out of the moment and dash up the stairs, finally reaching the outside after a lengthy amount of time. I open the door and see multiple Kegatuan bodies lying lifelessly on the grass, partially painted red. Must have been a fight with Red in RedGalaxy. A campfire is also at the scene, the vibrant orange flame continuing to reach up into the sky. My companions continue to run, but I stop at the sight of a Kegatuan member's card lying near my feet. It compels me for some reason, and I don't stop staring. Risya, RedGalaxy exclaims. What are you doing? At his words, I bend down to grab the card and then look at the fire. I think we have some time. After a few seconds, RedGalaxy sighs. Whatever it is, make it quick. I stand and dart toward the flame. I take one final look at the card. It still says what I predicted it to read. Part of the Kegatuan. I grin for a moment, knowing that we just demolished the cult and kept ourselves safe from their grasp. And now I can finally breathe. I drop the card into the fire. The flame immediately consumes the material, accompanied by a faint crackle. It drops on the coal, and the edges immediately turn black. There's something so satisfying about the burn marks eating up the words on the card and seeing them turn to ash. Maybe because we have completed our objective and moved on to the next, to escape to another town. I'm pulled out of my daze and turn around, seeing my comrades stare at the fire as I did. We gotta leave now, I ordered them. We all begin to dash back to our path as if being chased. I don't know who or what would be pursuing us right now, but I know what we're chasing. The door to freedom once again. When we are back out front, the team stops and surveys the scene. The Kegatuan bodies lie in a few places, but I try to ignore them. What we're searching for is an SUV from the Kegatuans used as our getaway vehicle. If we can get our hands on one of them, then we can hotwire it and escape. Stop right there! Oh, not again. As if on coup, we all put our guns up in the direction of the voice. A lone Kegatuan member, with his mask above his head, is here with his own pistol, seemingly oblivious to what we just did to his group, as his gesture makes him look like the others are after us too. When he sees all our weapons, he throws his hands up and hurls his firearm away. No, 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 the others would kill you. The others would kill us? I just want to laugh at the irony, but I eventually hold it in. Bring us to one of your SUVs now, I yell. Absolutely not. You know how much we spent to get those bad boys? I'll see. Ray steps forward and puts the gun to the man's head. Do it right now or get blasted. The man's coward eyes reach his high levels with his open mouth and eyes. Okay, follow me, but without the stupid gun. Ray scoffs. With the gun or get blasted. Fine. The guy begins to walk despite the gun pointed at his head. He leads us on the sidewalk into the opposite end of the street, past several demolished houses. I begin to think about them as my feet carry me forward. I wonder if the ghosts of the Kegatuan's victims are out there, knowing that we brought them justice from our bare hands and minds. That's when I silently send the thought out to the spirits, if there are any. I avenged you. At the end of the road, the man points to a lone vehicle parked by a blackened fence. That's what you guys want, right? Not just that, RedGalaxy replies. Keys too, please. The guy whimpers, but digs into his pocket for a slim-shaped figure of copper, and then hands it to RedGalaxy while still being held at gunpoint. There you go. Now can I just leave? Not until you tell us this, Micha answers, stepping forward. Do you know what we did to your boss and your companions? Her grin is meant to tell him everything, I suppose. Remember's eyes widen so much that I think they will fall out. He gulps and then fearfully sprints away from us like a bully when a school principal comes. Murderers! He screams. I don't know who he is screaming for. Mass murderers! We all start to giggle at his cowardice. The laughter I get is too much for me to think of bringing him his fate. He's more scared than Luigi when he sees a ghost, Ray jokes. We keep chuckling for a while, grateful for the moment to bask in our friendship now that we've gotten rid of the threat. It's hard to believe that with our teamwork, we have finally reached the height we aimed for. And now there is only one thing left to do. You know how to drive, Risya? Ray asks. I grasp the keys from my Galaxy. I sure do. We all get in our seats in the SUV. I take the driver's seat, Micha takes the passenger seat, and Ray and RedGalaxy sit in the back. The driver panel appears significantly different from the cars I'm used to, but I find my way around all the confusing controls. Then I push the gas and begin to leave the street, not looking back at the Kegatuan's hideout for even a millisecond. We have long left our city behind. I can hardly believe we just have. The scene outside comprises sandy beige plains and a road laid for miles. The air is filled with the faint breathing of all of us, along with Risya's melodic humming. I guess a producer always has music by their side. Our vehicle is the only one on the path, but that doesn't set me off like it did when we were the only ones in the city when the Kegatuan first attacked. Minutes ago, we already created a plan for when we reach another city. Our IDs have been carried with us, so when we reach the gate, we will have no problem checking in. I will replay all the steps we will take in my head, but I decided to put them down for a while and enjoy the scenery. So much for wanting to have a break for a while after the tour, Risya comments. I giggle. Yeah, I didn't think you expected to be ambushed by those freaks, but good thing we brought them down. I sure am glad, Micha. We went on one heck of a journey there, didn't we? And I finally feel like you're my brother again. Risya casts one glance at me with a smile. I don't think this incident will ever leave our minds, will it? It won't, I don't think, Ray responds. But I could not have done it without you guys. I'd be a dead man if it weren't for you. Risya chuckles. I'm glad for you all, too. I guess you'll have to leave when we settle, Ray. No. Ray leans forward. I've decided to stay with you guys for a bit before flying back. Hopefully I can get my passport, since I seem to have lost it all when the Kegatuan first attacked me. And now I've lost my appetite for traveling the world after what we just experienced. Why though? Don't you have a family to see? RedGalaxy asks. I can't just leave after all that you've helped me with. I can't just take all that you've given to me and burn it to ash by leaving the first chance I get. Absolutely not. You guys saved my life, you know. Well, if you're staying a while, we're fine with it, I respond. Here's to a new beginning for all of us, Risya comments. I look out the windshield toward the blinding sky, and I can't help but smile and enjoy in the light of this moment. A new beginning indeed, I reply.